My parents secretly charged $115K on my credit card for my sister's Europe trip, so I reported it as fraud, leading to major family fallout. I found out by accident. I was applying for a car loan in March when the bank officer looked at my credit report and her face went weird. She asked if I knew my credit card had a balance of $115,000. I laughed because that had to be a mistake. I was 26, working as a nurse, and my credit limit was only $25,000. There was no way I had that kind of debt. She turned her screen around and showed me. Sure enough, my Chase card that I barely used had been maxed out multiple times over the past 8 months. The charges were insane. Luxury hotels in Paris, first-class flights to Italy, designer shopping in London, 5-star restaurants in Barcelona. I felt like I was going to throw up right there in the bank. I immediately called Chase fraud department from the parking lot. They pulled up my account and started reading off charges. $8,000 at the Ritz in Paris, $12,000 in first-class airline tickets, $6,500 at some boutique in Milan. The list went on and on. I told them I didn't make any of these purchases and never left the country. The representative said someone had been calling every few months to request credit limit increases, and they approved them based on my income and payment history. Wait, I said, someone's been making payments on this? She confirmed that minimum payments had been coming from an account I didn't recognize. That's when it clicked. My parents had access to my credit card information from when I lived at home. I'd given it to my mom years ago for emergencies back when I was in nursing school. The emergency contact number on file was my parents' landline. My hands were shaking as I called my mom. I asked her straight up if she knew anything about charges on my credit card. The silence on the other end told me everything. Then she started crying and said they were going to pay me back, that my sister Emma deserved to have one amazing experience before starting her real life. I drove to their house immediately. Both my parents were sitting at the kitchen table looking guilty. My dad explained that Emma had gotten into law school in Boston and wanted to take a gap year to travel Europe first. They didn't have the money saved up, so my mom suggested using my credit card temporarily, just until they could pay it back from Dad's retirement fund. They'd been making the minimum payments thinking I'd never notice, thinking they'd pay it off before I needed to use the card for anything major. I completely lost it. I started yelling about how they destroyed my credit, how I couldn't buy a car now, how I'd been working 50-hour weeks while Emma was eating caviar in France on my dime. My mom kept saying Emma was the baby of the family and deserved nice things too, that I'd already gotten to go to nursing school and had a good job. Like that justified committing fraud. My dad actually said I was being selfish and that family helps family. I told them they had 24 hours to figure out how to pay back every cent or I was reporting it as fraud. My mom laughed and said I wouldn't dare, that it would destroy the family. She was wrong. The next day, I filed a police report and disputed every single charge with Chase. The bank launched an investigation. My parents had to provide statements. Emma came home early from Portugal when she found out, absolutely furious with me. She called me evil and said I ruined her once-in-a-lifetime trip. I told her she ruined my credit score for 7 years, so we were even. My extended family took their side. Aunts and uncles I hadn't heard from in years were suddenly calling to tell me I was ungrateful and cruel, that my parents raised me and I owed them. But here's what they didn't know. Those minimum payments my parents were making, they'd taken out a loan against their house to cover them. They were about to lose their home because they were so focused on giving Emma her dream trip that they didn't think about the consequences. The bank eventually cleared the charges as fraud. My credit was restored and my parents had to deal with the loan company. They're selling their house now and moving into a small apartment. Emma had to get a job at Starbucks because my parents can't help with her law school expenses anymore. Nobody in my family speaks to me except my older brother, who said I did the right thing. He told me our parents had been babying Emma her whole life and this was bound to happen eventually. I don't regret what I did. They committed a crime and expected me to just accept it because we're related. Now I check my credit report every single week and have fraud alerts on everything.